Welcome, Woven Ones. This is Generations Woven, where the voices of 3 generations blend into one tapestry of truth, laughter, love, and life. There's a moment in every woman's life when she realizes she no longer wants to keep living on autopilot.
Shining like the sun.
She's doing everything, but she's not choosing any of it. The hamster wheel of life feels safe until it doesn't. A soft rebuild isn't about blowing your world up. It's about choosing yourself before life does it for you. It's about getting clear, really clear, on who you want to be and how you want to live. And when you start rebuilding, remember, it's who you want to be and not be a remake of someone else. So the soft rebuild, we actually talk about this in our book that you can buy on our website now. It's day 4 of Invisible Threads workbook, and it's a guided 10-day workbook for women to help you rest, release, and rebuild with purpose. So the soft rebuild is really about taking those steps, keeping yourself in mind, right? Like, what do you want in your life? And, signs of knowing that you're overdue for a rebuild could be, you got your 8 hours of sleep, but you wake up still dreading the day, feeling tired, running on the life cycle that you really don't want to be. And maybe you've been thinking about that hobby or that skill or that thing that you want to do for yourself, but you don't take that time to do it. So that's really what we're talking about today is, how to rebuild yourself. So what do you guys think about how we as women take that opportunity to put ourselves first, even with 5 kids at home, even with a busy workload with deadlines? How do we find the time, or how do you ladies find the time to put yourself first? What are things you do?
Yeah, we don't.
You don't? No, you do. Just like you said, you're planning.
I have a funny story. Can I just tell
Yes,
it?
please do.
This was back in the day when the kids were little, and my oldest was like 12, maybe 13. And it was summertime, and they were out in the backyard playing, and I said, oh, I just love to have a bubble bath, just be selfish for a minute. And so...
Were they young?
Yeah.
Younger?
Yeah. I think my oldest was 13, and the rest were stair steps,
She was keeping an eye.
Can you keep an eye on them for 10 minutes? Just give me 10 minutes. Yeah, I can do that, Mom. I said, okay. So I went in, I did the hot bubble bath, and I lit the candle. And I just laid back in the tub, and the door goes flinging open. And it was one of my sons that says, see, I told you my mom was taking a bubble bath, and he had all the kids with him.
Such
True
a kid
story.
thing. Such a kid thing.
Yeah,
so innocent.
And he was just, I wanted to show him you were taking a bubble bath. I mean, I never dreamed he'd come.
But you didn't get your break.
No.
But you got a good memory.
I have a great memory, yeah.
I hope the bubbles were like,
oh, they were. Thank God. It might have been traumatic otherwise.
For them or for you?
Both.
No, Tasha, I think it's interesting, the question about the soft rebuild. I think some of us don't do soft rebuilds.
You just go hard.
Yes.
All in.
All in. And so I've
moved.
That
can be dangerous, though.
Yes, but you know what? I think, again, and I know we talked about seasons, but, I've moved continents more than once. But now I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't want to anymore. I don't want to do that anymore. So as I'm getting older, I can tell that the softer rebuilds are they just sound better. They sound like a bubble bath.
Mm-hmm.
So
unintruded.
Unintruded.
But sometimes intruded.
Lock the door, definitely. So I think, as we're getting older, that rat race does not have that much appeal anymore. It just doesn't. So a softer way of thinking, and I think that's where you need to, I journal, so, and that helps me just to put stuff on paper, and then it makes sense. And then I can get to, well, okay, I'm looking at the same red flags that I've seen before. So what are you going to do about that? Which otherwise I might miss. And yes, you have to schedule that. It's not going to happen if you don't. You have to take your weekly diary, and I do that. Not enough though, and say, okay, this weekend is my time. And luckily, I have friends and family, and they're like, okay, we'll leave you. And I lock the door, and then I think writing is part of that rebuild for me, that soft rebuild, because again, growing up with a dad that taught us about introspection when we were naughty, and the middle one, yeah, I guess got a lot of that. I was told to go into my room and do introspection. And I'm like, I don't even know what that means, but I will go do introspection. So introspection of really thinking about, where am I? Is it working? Do I like it? Is this who I want to be? I think it's part of just how I grew up. And that's when you can go, I need some alone time. I need to go to shopping and buy some shoes. Or whatever it is for you.
Yeah.
But take that time and do it.
Yeah. I think back to, I didn't know I was doing a soft rebuild, because I, like you, when I get into something, I go all in, right? So I can't even count how many times I've decided to diet, how many times I've decided to go to the gym, how many times I've decided to eat healthy. But every time I did, I had to do them all together. I had to diet, I had to eat healthy, I had to go to the gym, and I had to just change everything about my life right away. Did that ever last? Absolutely not. But I didn't realize all the years of those, I won't call them failures, I'll just call them the stepping stones of learning. Yeah, that's great. Stepping stones of learning. But what I realized the last time that I made that change was I started soft. I started with my daily non-negotiables. It's like, what do I do every day? What does Tasha, the Tasha I want to be, what does she do every day? Okay, she goes for a 1-mile walk. She listens to a podcast, and she reads 1 chapter a day. Simple. Really, that's maybe 30 minutes of your day. You can read a chapter in 10 minutes, depending on the book.
That's doable.
You can walk a mile in 20 minutes. You can listen to the podcast while you're walking. That's 30 minutes of your day to do those daily non-negotiables. So before I was, deciding, well, now I've got to change my whole diet. Now I've got to lose weight again, right? It's just that soft approach. And then the other piece to being soft on yourself is to give yourself grace. I would fail. I would, those stepping stones of learning, but I would stop following those goals of losing weight, eating right, exercising, going to the gym. And then I would just stop altogether. I'd give it all up.
Yeah.
Yep. Because I took on so much, and then I crashed, and then I just acted like it never happened until I got to the point where I wanted to do it again. So with this softer rebuild that I took, the last time that I decided to focus on me and improve my life, I found that if I did fall off and I'm like, I didn't go for that walk, I did think about it, but then I told myself, okay, tomorrow, it's a brand new day, new opportunity, I'm going to go for that walk. If I ate second dinner because I had fun that day and I ate more than I should have, it's okay. The next day, you know what you have to do. It's giving myself grace, not being hard on myself, not giving up, and just knowing that every day I have the opportunity to do it again. But the most important thing I will say is the reason I think that I've kept it more frequent and longer, right, than I ever had before. I would maybe make it 2 months, 3 months.
That's long.
Yeah. But the reason I think I've kept it is because it's written down.
Yes.
And it's visual every single day. It is on a poster, a 24 by 30 inch Post-it note. I go big in some things. When I open my eyes in the morning, it's right there on my wall.
That's good.
I can't avoid it. And I'm leaving it there because until I'm 2, 3, maybe ever, I know I may never remove it, but I see it and I know who I want to be because I'm reminded because I wrote it down and I want to be that person. And that has what kept me successful
I like that.
in this. But I think I didn't know I was being soft on myself until I look back and I'm like, I think this is why it worked for me this time.
Judy, we need to get you a big poster.
Real big. If she's got that big a one, can you imagine? I'm going to need a whole wall.
We just paint your whole wall.
Yes.
But no, you ladies are doing great. Like, look, I mean, just in the amount of time that we've been so connected, like we have all grown so much
have.
from what we are building
I didn't
together.
have a choice. I just want you all to know.
You had no choice?
You're making it sound like we're forcing you to be here.
No, it's just that you were such great inspiration. I had nowhere to do but look up.
Oh, that is beautiful.
You guys
That's
have
the
reminded me to
truth.
look up, but anyway.
Yeah.
Yes. I love you said I now get to make different choices rather than I have to, I get to. Because I think if you are not okay with where you are, if you think that there's more, then you need to, for a moment, decide who is that Nerina going to be? What does she look like? What does she act like? Well, how does she dress? What does she eat? What does she say? How does she spend her time with? And if you can then start like that tomorrow and you start dressing like that, you speak like that, you become that. And it's easier than to tackle like, oh, I'm in a diet. Well, why are you dieting? Because I don't fit into my clothes. But I think you need a bigger reason than that.
Mm-hmm.
If it is to, and we all look back and go, oh my goodness, I'm in my 60s. It's like, is this okay for me? My parents going to be 90. So what do I need to do today to make sure that I'm healthy and that I can go that far, that I can become 90? So we need a existential reason, much bigger than just the comfort of, I don't want this anymore, so I'm going to choose something else.
I love how you explain that. That's a really good perspective of it.
I don't know how it came out of my mouth, but I like it too.
Yeah, that was
really
really good.
Thank you. Thank you.
I liked it. Because you're right. I guess my existential, like I had a bigger purpose in it,
Yes.
right? It was that I wanted more out of my life. It's that there were things happening in my life that I was not happy with. And it was my search to say, how do I get that life I want? Here's the things I'm unhappy with. Now I have to take action to get there. And it wasn't just because, I was fine. I told myself I was fine, right? I told myself like, I just need bigger jeans. It's okay. I went and I bought another pair of jeans and I wore.
Hey, I've got 5 sizes in my closet, whether I need them or not,
Oh, trust me, I do too. I just tried on all my shorts from 5 years ago, and my daughter was like, Mom, no, you can't wear any of those. I go, but they fit me. I'm like, they fit me. And she's like, no, Mom, you can't wear those. And I was like, okay. So, but no, I think you're right. We have to look outside of ourselves and say, what's going to drive me to do these things other than something that's just kind of superficial inside of us.
Exactly. And I think, Judy, you kind of alluded to that when you said we made you look up. You have to make sure that the people in your inner circle are people that you admire for whatever reason. I'm very picky who comes into my inner circle because it influences me, good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked you, both of you, because you inspire me in some ways, and we learn new skills. I think the first time when I talked to somebody that is even older than you, Judy, and I said, we're going to do a podcast. And they go, a what? I'm like, a podcast. They go, I have no idea what that is. So, I've heard of it. I've seen it. I've listened to a couple, but did I know what they do? And no. And look at
for
this.
you?
Yeah, for me personally.
Yeah.
And look at where we are today. So I think my biggest fear in life is to stop growing. I've always said the moment I stop growing, come and get me, because there's no reason then. I want to learn new things.
Just don't get confused on growing and peace.
Can you do both?
Yeah.
How do you
The
balance
problem
that?
is a lot of people, when they feel that peace, they stop growing.
You get comfortable again.
Comfortable.
That
Oh, it's that
you
word
get
again.
comfortable again.
And I'm saying that as an older person.
Sure.
You know, it's very easy to get real comfortable when you're retired, and you know, my life is very calm. It's at peace. You know, I love it. It's the best time of my life, you know. But you girls brought this back to me is I don't have to stop growing. Just because I'm 75 doesn't mean
Yeah.
God's done with me yet. He
Oh,
may
no.
have a purpose for
Oh,
me.
no.
We need friends that
do.
are, you know, like-minded, like you said, right? Growing, helping keep you accountable. I just said this last night to my boyfriend, and I was like, I'm so glad we're on this journey together, because when I start to falter, you can help support me. And when you start to falter, I can help support you. Same thing with our friends, right? We can help support each other, and you have to find that community, right? Join the community, be a part of it, and then be able to help support each other, and, you know, listen to Generations Woven, and let us be your community. And
We'll
we
tell
can
you.
all, we can all grow and stay aligned together in this journey of life.
The interesting thing is I watch both of you, and when you set your minds to doing something, you inspire me. But I watched you even with your significant other, who's my son, but he's inspired by you too. It's like it's contagious. Does that make sense?
Yes,
You
like
know,
in Goosebumps. You're so right.
you know, when you start trying to be your best, it is contagious, and other people want to.
They want part of that
be part
for
of it.
them.
Yeah.
For them.
They like that energy.
Yeah.
They gravitate towards it. What a great world, though, if all this growing and love and acceptance, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, and we share that,
Yeah.
and others can share their
Right.
growth with us, and
We
you know,
cheer each other on.
yeah,
Because we want the best for each other. But you know what, Judy? You talked about something that I think is interesting, which is identity. Now, when you're young and you're trying to still figure out yourself and things, and where do you fit in, and what do you want, and what is your parents' fault and what is yours? It's all yours. Just saying, it's all your fault. We get to a point where we know who we are. We know whose we are. We also know why we are here. What is our gifts? What is not our gifts? And what is non-negotiable for us? And that, when you get to that phase, that I think is where the peace comes in. Where if somebody comes with suggestion, or they want you to be part of something, and it's not aligned with that, it's very easy to give them a beautiful no. But when you don't, and you still try to please people, and you're not really sure, is it a yes or is it a no? Then it's hard.
Yeah, I think with people that you don't always align with, and, you know, that's life, is don't stop being you. Continue loving, no matter where they're at, or, you know, they may be indifferent, they may be cool to you, they may be keeping a distance, whatever the case may be. It doesn't mean you stop loving them anymore, any less than you ever did.
I like that.
And when time rolls on, things may change, but you don't have to look back with regrets.
Yeah.
Right.
So beautiful. I love this conversation. It was really, really good. So tonight, here's what you're going to do. You're going to choose one small upgrade for yourself. It can be a boundary, taking a break, a moment of quiet, or one task you will no longer carry alone. Soft rebuilds begin with gentle choices, repeated daily until you look up and realize you have changed your life. So until next time, God bless.